All right, let's talk about the order of operations to simplify a numeric expression. Now to do that, I'm going to go over 3 different examples: a easy example, a medium example, as well as a hard example. All right, now before we get into the examples, let's just do a quick review of how to remember how to follow the order of operations. There's really 2 different trains of thoughts. All right, I have no idea why I did uppercase and lowercase over here and did uppercase there. It doesn't really mean anything. But let's just kind of do a quick little review. I'll kind of talk away through it, but Pemdas is the way that I remembered it. It's just easier, in my opinion, to remember than GermDas, even though GermDas is a little bit more mathematical accurate. So Pemdas just means always do what's inside your parentheses first, then do your exponents, then do multiplication and division. Just remember that's from left to right, and addition and subtraction from left to right. Multiplication and division, though, there is no like one is before the other. These are grouped together, as well as addition and subtraction. Now the difference with GermDas is rather than using parentheses, GermDas says, well, it really means we should be using any grouping symbols. So therefore it could be brackets, therefore it could be parentheses, or also it could be the fraction bar, which we'll do in some of our examples. As far as exponents, the reason why we use germ is because, yeah, it could be the powers, right? Anything raised to a power, but also it involves roots as well. So therefore anything, because a root can also be re-raised as a rational power. So that's how we use the exponents and roots in that case. And then you're still going to have your multiplication, division, and your addition, subtraction. So by going through the easy, medium, and hard, you'll see an example of all of these, and I'll kind of talk my way through each example. Okay, so on first example, we have 7 minus 10 times 5 plus 10 divided by 2. Now this is an easy example. We don't have any grouping symbols. We don't have any powers. We just need to understand, all right, we always need to look at multiplication and division first, and we always want to go left and right. So we have this multiplication problem and we have this division problem. Again, remember, multiplication and division is not one before the other. It's always whatever is the most left, you're going to do first, and then you work your way to the right. So in this case, I have negative 10 times 5, which is going to be a negative 50. And then here I have 10 divided by 2, which is going to be a 5. Now we have addition and subtraction. Again, addition is not before subtraction. Subtraction is not before addition. It's whatever occurs first all the way to the left, and then you work your way to the right. So in this case, we have 7 minus 50, which is going to be a negative 43. And then we need to go ahead and add 5. When we go ahead and add 5 to that, we're going to get a negative 38. And that is going to be our answer for the easy example. Okay, so in this example, we have brackets as well as parentheses. Now, it doesn't matter. One is not before the other. They just represent grouping symbols. Now, in the hard example, we'll go over an example where we have parentheses inside the parentheses. And so you always want to do the innermost parenthesis first. But in this case, we can just tackle one parenthesis or one grouping symbol at a time. Let's look at the one furthest to the left. In this case, I have 15 minus 3 divided by 2. Now, remember, from GermDas, this is actually another grouping symbol. When you have a fraction bar, what that means is you actually need to address the numerator as well as the denominator first before you actually go ahead and do any dividing. So in this case, what we're actually going to do is we're going to do the 15 minus 3 first. 15 minus 3 is going to be a 12. And then over here, you can see I can again also simplify my numerator. In this case, I have a 2 squared times 3. Well, again, from Pemdas here, make sure you do the powers first before you do multiplication. So a 2 squared is going to be a 4, and then a 4 times 3 is going to be a 12. Okay, so now, again, I can further simplify what's inside my parentheses. I have 12 divided by 2 and a 12 divided by 6. So 12 divided by 2 is going to be a 6. And a 12 divided by 6 is going to be a 2. Now again, I have 2 operations left. I have multiplication and subtraction. We know though, we have to do multiplication before we do subtraction. 3 times 6 is going to be an 18, and then minus 2, which is going to be a 16. All right, now let's get into the hard example. All right, sorry, I had to squeeze this one in here. So this says 1/4 times the bracket 7 times 2 cubed divided by the square root of 4 times 5 squared times the fraction 2 times 5 squared divided by 2 times 6 minus 2. It gets pretty confusing looking into this, right? And that's why this is the hard example. And you know what? I don't really like how that's written, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase these and then rewrite that. Okay. So there's so much going on in this problem. A lot of times students would probably just even get confused, right? But that's why it's so important to follow the Pemdas or GermDAS and really just go through this step by step. So we have these brackets, so we got to look inside here. We're not going to worry about the 1/4 to the very, very end. Then we go inside here and we look for more grouping techniques. Now I don't actually have them in other parentheses, but I do have a radical. And so this is going to be a root. So we're going to focus on that first. And then we also have a grouping technique here of a fraction. So again, we're going to simplify the numerator and the denominator first before applying any operations. Now these are all separated by division and multiplication. So I could simplify. Well, actually, we're going to leave that. Actually, never mind. We're going to leave that exactly from there. But let's go ahead and simplify these two and see what we get. Okay. So I can't take the square root of anything, right? Don't try to distribute the square root to the 4 and the 5 squared. We have to simplify what's under the root. So in this case, I can't multiply the 4 times 5, right? Because I have to take the 5 to the second power first. So 5 squared is going to be 25. 25 times 4 is going to be 100. So I have the square root of 100. Now again, the square root of 100 is going to be 10. So we can simplify that and then multiply over here. Again, you need to square the 5 before multiplying by 2. So 5 squared is a 25 times 2 is going to be a 50. And then over here, before I subtract the 2, right, you have to multiply first. So 2 times 6 is going to be 12. 12 minus 2 is going to be a 10. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work from left to right. So we have a lot of things going on here. You can go ahead and simplify this. You can think about 50 divided by 10 is simply just going to be multiplied by a 5. So we can rewrite that as a 5. All right, so now I have multiplication, division, multiplication. Again, work your way from left to right. Now this is technically going to be an 8. So I have a 1/4. So 2 squared is going to be a 8. So 7 times 8 is going to be a 56. And then that's going to be divided by 10. And then times a 5. Now this gets confusing because a lot of times people are like, well, how can I go ahead and rewrite this, right? This is where I can't divide 10 evenly into 56. So let's go ahead and rewrite it maybe a different way. I could also rewrite this like this, right? Wouldn't you agree that 56 divided by 10 can be written as 56 over 10 and then multiplied by 5? Now what we can do is we can say, oh yeah, I can actually simplify this because this 5 over 10 can be reduced down to a 1/2. Now, 56 divided by 2 is just going to be a 28. So 1/4 times a 28. And now we can just say, how many times is 4 evenly divided into 28? And your final answer is going to be a 7.